How do you make your middle schoolers' brains melt on the very first day of school? Challenge them to read 40 books each before the end of the school year, and then watch the screaming start. Stick with me and let's talk about why I'm doing the 40 book challenge in my classroom and why I think you should too. If there's one thing that I know about kids, it's that they crave comfort. They need security, especially after the year we've had. It is more understandable than ever. I think of my own boys at home and how they hate all new foods. They've never tried it, but they're pretty darn sure they hate it. Oh, you don't want candied Brussels sprouts? No, we hate those. Have you ever had them? No, but we know we hate them. And for a lot of kids, reading is the exact same thing. Time and time again, we hear from students, especially in middle school and high school, we hate reading. Books suck. And then you ask them, what's the last book you read simply for the enjoyment of reading a book? You might as well have told them the funniest joke they ever heard in their life. They don't read for enjoyment. They hang out with their friends for enjoyment. They listen to music. They play video games. They stare into their screens. That's what they do for fun. Not read. Now, of course, I'm generalizing, and I absolutely have students that love books. But for the most part, for most teachers in middle school and high school, reading is a constant struggle. Getting kids to appreciate books and the stories contained therein is an uphill battle, and one that I believe absolutely needs to be fought. But it doesn't have to be a war. In my classroom, I'm trying to cultivate a community of readers and at least instill in them a little more appreciation for books than they had coming into my class. And so I was inspired by Donalyn Miller in her books Reading in the Wild and The Book Whisperer, links in the description below, to issue my students the 40 book challenge this year. And let me make that perfectly clear right from the start. It is a challenge, not a requirement. And that is one of the things that is so important about the way you set this up. Once you make it a requirement, once you say there's a grade attached to this, the kids are going to derive less enjoyment from it because it's simply another assignment that they have to get done. And so you set it up in an exciting way as a challenge between them and themselves, not against anybody else. It's not like a class challenge, who can read the most books? No, it's between you and yourself. Can you do it? How much can you read this year? And if you don't make the 40 books, that's okay. If you only make 20, great. How many books did you read last year? Only 5? Well, look, by Charlie, that's 15 more than you did last year, and that is absolutely something to be proud of. But there are no prizes. There are no grades. This is a challenge for you to push yourself to see how much you are capable of doing, how much you're able to do that you never did before. And it's so important to have them read across different genres because entering 6th grade, they're bringing with them things like Captain Underpants, Dog Man, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and that's fine. That's an okay place to start, again, because it makes them feel comfortable, it makes them feel secure. And coming back to an in-person classroom, we need to do everything in our power to make the kids feel safe and comfortable. So if that's where they want to begin, okay. But as the year progresses, I encourage you to push them a little more toward 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever you teach, level appropriate books, and not just hold on to the things of their youth, regardless of how comfortable it makes them feel. And it's only been 2 weeks of school so far, but they're probably already sick of hearing me say this, but you are not going to get stronger by lifting weights that are too light for you. And in the same regard, you're not going to become a stronger reader by only reading books that are too easy for you. We need to push ourselves. We need to challenge ourselves with material and genres that we have not previously explored, or things that are maybe just a little bit outside of our comfort zone. Because as the bumper sticker says, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And why would it be on a bumper sticker if it wasn't true, right? And so it's important that you give them a sampling of a number of different genres, not just stuff that they're comfortable reading. Fiction, nonfiction, historical fiction, fantasy, science fiction, horror, autobiography, graphic novels even. I let them read a couple of those, and then I give them 10 choices all their own. You can see the entire outline in the description below. I ask my students, I say, how many of you believe that you have to finish every single book that you start? And all these hands go up, and I say, no, you do not have to feel obligated to finish every single book just because you started it. As Stephen King said, give an author a couple hours of your time, and if you're not getting along, wish him well and send him on his way. To continue to read a book that you are deriving no enjoyment from becomes drudgery, and drudgery is the enemy of joy. But I do ask them to give a book a chance, not just open it. Nope, don't like it. Give it a few pages. Give it 50 to 75 pages. By that point, you're going to have a pretty clear understanding as to whether or not the book is right for you. So I've already developed the routine in my classroom. As students come into the room, I have a music video playing, and they know that by the end of that video, they need to be seated at their desks with a book open and silently reading for the first 15 minutes. We're doing this every single day so that they know when they come into my classroom, they are now readers. And it doesn't matter how strong a reader they are. If they don't have any confidence, the fact is you need to nurture them and encourage them and support them as the community of readers they are, regardless of their skill level. When they enter this classroom, it is a sacred space, and everybody is valid, and everybody is a reader. So a very important point, and one that could easily be overlooked, is that when they are reading, you are also reading. You are modeling the behavior that you want to see in them. So it's not a matter of do as I say, not as I do, and you're not over there grading papers or doing something else and showing them that reading is not as important as this other thing that I have to do. So you walk the walk, you don't just talk the talk. And there are no book reports. Now, twice a quarter, I do ask each student to stand up and give what I call book commercials, which are just simply read this book or don't read this book. This is the greatest book ever, or I hate this book with the burning fire of 1,000 angry suns. I don't care if they liked it or not. If they didn't like it, that could even be more of a challenge for somebody else to read it. If they say this book stinks, somebody else may take it upon themselves to say, you know what, I'm going to prove to you why it absolutely doesn't. As they finish each book, you're going to have them log it in a journal and encourage them not to cheat and not to lie. I've told them, I said, I'm going to be more impressed if you read 10 legitimate books this year than if you lie about reading 40 books. And you're not lying to anybody but yourself. Again, there's no grade, so just challenge yourself and be honest with yourself about the performance that you're giving. Because this education is between you and yourself. You're not doing this for me. You're not doing this for your parents. You're not doing this for the principal. This is your education, so you owe it to yourself to be 100% a straight shooter with yourself. In the end, some of them may not reach the 40-book goal. Some of them may reach 75 books. It doesn't matter. What matters is that each and every child feel proud of their own accomplishments and that they really derive a new enjoyment and excitement out of reading. And I believe that is within all of our power to instill in each and every last child out there. Hey, if you've tried the 40-book challenge in your own classroom, please comment down below and let me know how it's gone in your own classroom and maybe some of the tips and tactics that you've used when you've applied it to your own students. I'd love to hear from you. Hey, if you got value out of this video, do me a favor and smash that like button. And please do check out some of the other content right here on Classroom Confidential. I got a lot of amazing stuff and much, much more to come. Be well out there, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and take care of someone else. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.